I'm not a Ben Simmons hater at all. I love Ben Simmons, and I don't want to say anything wrong with Ben Simmons. I'm not going to be one of those guys who bashes Ben Simmons because it's just low-hanging fruit. And I like to look at things glass half full. Let's not beat someone when they're down. And I like to remind you guys that Ben Simmons is coming off of, I think, multiple back surgeries, or at least one back surgery and a procedure, and mental health and along of other things. So I'm not trying to give him a pass, but put those things into thought. Tonight, the Brooklyn Nets moved to 2-5. Kevin Durant is honestly playing at an MVP level. Kyrie Irving is playing like he's a guy who's going to get him his last max contract, and I don't say that in a mean way. I say that in a good way, because going into the season, he actually, offseason, if he had gone into free agency, he wasn't going to get a max contract. He's at the age that this is the last year he'll be able to get a max contract, because then when that contract expires, he'll be too old to get a full 4 or 5 year length contract due to the 38-year rule, and he'll probably have to get a similar deal that Chris Paul got. But that's not here nor there. So he's motivated, and they got my Jewish brothers, as you guys know. I'm a Sephardic Jew. I'm not really gonna give my opinion on the whole Kyrie thing, because I'm Jewish, but like, I eat bacon. I'm not the best Jew, so there's a lot of other Jews who would be. I'm not the best Jew, like my rabbi wouldn't be happy with what I do on the Sabbath. Okay, so I'm just not going to comment on that. Plus, this is basketball. This isn't religion. Nick Claxton continues to improve. He's the team's third leading scorer. You don't want Abe shows up on defense for them. Durant Sharp, he's a good guy off the bench, but really there's nothing off the bench. There's nothing off the bench. You know what the bench contributed points wise was 18 points out of the 116. That means 98 points came from the freaking starting lineup. Royce O'Neal's doing his thing. He's not a scorer to begin with. He's a glue guy. Joe Harris is just not shooting where we thought he'd be. He's averaging like 6 points a night. I just don't know what's going on with Joe Harris. Was that ankle injury that devastating? This guy was averaging, 11 points in those 14 games, but the year before that, he had a 3-year stretch where he's averaging 14, 15 points a night. And I think this team did look better. The floor looked spaced without Ben Simmons. And what I can say is it's been the Brooklyn Nets offense didn't look slow. With Ben Simmons and Claxton, or Ben Simmons and Sharp, it looked slow. And tonight, their 3-point shooting came to 36.7, which is arguably one of their best games of the season. And look, they've been able to keep their offensive rating afloat, and tonight looked even better just because they're a great free throw line team and they get to the free throw line, and Kevin Durant is getting a lot done for them. Like, Kevin Durant and Kyrie is doing a lot. And through 7 games right now, Kevin Durant's averaging 32.6 points. That's a career high. Okay. Shooting 52.4% from the field. Yeah, you're going to look at it. 32.4% 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks a game. He's killing it. And you got Kyrie right next to him, averaging in 7 games 30 points a game. 30% from 3, 47.5, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.7 steals, and a block a game. They're cooking. But I know it's not perfect. I know this is what people want. And it's I don't know how do you guys blame Steve Nash? Because the team is this team is one of the best at finding itself to the free throw line, but Seth Curry and Joe Harris back. They just need to start shooting the ball well, and Joe Harris needs to look like himself. And look, the nightmare that's going on with Kyrie and Ben Simmons, it's just the defense is actually worse than it was when Harden, Durant, and Irving were together. The Nets are just getting lit up beyond the arc, and they could really use someone like Ben Simmons when he's healthy. So you sit here and you wonder, how do we fix this? I wish we could fix it. It's just, man, it is interesting to think about it, but let me hear your guys' thoughts. The Brooklyn Nets, I think they're not the worst team in the league, but there's some things that need to be fixed. And hopefully they can be sooner rather than later, because right now hasn't been pretty, and it seems like they can be fixed. It's just, let's do it. Let's get it fixed. And I love y'all. Bye.